We have 175 volunteers scattered throughout this 80-acre site, so it's awesome. You guys are doing about 500 hours of service this morning, which is huge because that's over a month of work for our crew. So we just really appreciate it. We're wrapping up our fall season. This is our second to last event, so you know, if you're interested in volunteering again with greening, make sure you check out our website, greatrivergreening.org. We're on Facebook. You can contact me, Josh Kriz at Great River Greening, and sometime in January and February we'll be launching our spring schedule with sites throughout the metro. So thanks a lot for coming out. Torey's going to tell you a little bit about the work that we've done here at the Conservation Corridor.
Yeah, so I'm Torey. I'm the ecologist for the site. When we started this project, the field that you're standing in right now was just solid sumac that you're cutting right now. You're cutting the second year growth. When we started, we had a volunteer event about this size last year, and we cut the first growth of that down. And now we're just working at restoring all these farm fields here. The one directly behind us there is about 16 acres, sorry. And that goes all the way back to the fence line that is the southern end of our site. So this site goes from there all the way up to those trees up there where the volunteers are up there. And the idea here is that all these farm fields are going to be restored to prairie. And what we're doing is we're cutting out the woody vegetation that is an early successional species. Sumac comes in first, and then these other box elders and cherry trees are able to get a hold within the sumac. So what happens is that then eventually that'll turn into forest. So what we're doing is knocking that back. We're going to reseed all this into prairie. That's what was here originally. There's a couple prairie remnants where we find rare prairie species up around those cottonwoods, and along this bank here there are some species like monarda and tick seed and different milkweed species that butterflies use as habitat. So, and then the other thing we're doing, I gave you guys a special task to make these snake hibernaculums. We're also creating habitat for rare species that don't have habitat in Minnesota. And a lot of these guys need big open grassland plant communities to live in. So we're restoring the fields, and then eventually we have the habitat here for these rare listed species like the hognose snake and other smaller snakes. Now, why would we want to create habitat for snakes? And you guys have an idea why we'd want to do that? Nobody likes snakes. Why would we do it?
To keep them from getting extinct?
Yeah, that. And what the snakes do is they provide habitat or food for different bird species. So almost every single time I've been out here, on these power lines, there's falcons that sit up on the pole, and they're looking for food. And I think they like it here because there's this natural vegetation here in between the farm fields. And so there's little things like voles and mice and snakes potentially that live in these grasslands. And the birds eat them as food. So what we're doing is creating habitat for those snakes, but at the same time we're creating habitat and food for the different falcons and bird species that will eventually use this space as habitat. So